Welcome back to another episode of the Rivalry Podcast. I'm Stos. This is Joey over there pondering, and we got some NFL divisional weekend football to talk with you guys about. And man, let me just say this. Wild card weekend, that was the best weekend of football I've seen in my entire life. Joey, what are you teeing up over there, man?
Thank you, football gods. You have blessed us with a wonderful week of football. Man, what an AFC and NFC wildcard week, man. I think football fans could not have been more stoked when you had
Yeah.
three absolute bangers. And, I think if we get anywhere close to that quality of football this week, which we will, the teams get better, the games are going to get tighter. And I think we're in for a wonderful treat this weekend as well.
Dude, I think it's going to be great. I think we might have even had like four bangers. Those games were insane. Let's just start it off hot, man. Let's dive right into this. Our first matchup we're going to be talking about is Bills Broncos, and the reason I'm so excited about this matchup is, for one, we get to see Josh Allen with an opportunity to go back to another AFC championship, which I know Joey hates the thought of that. And then we get to see the Broncos play, man. We have not seen the Broncos play yet, and they are the one seed, so this game will be in Mile High. For me, I think I'm going to go with the Bills here. I know that might surprise some people, but I'm going with Buffalo. I think Josh Allen has more experience than the Broncos do, although the Broncos do have arguably a top defense in the NFL. I just think that Josh Allen and the Bills are going to find a way to get it done. I know Bo Nix has looked good at some points in this season. I do think that they will make it a good fight, but at the end of the day, I think I got to lean towards the Bills. I don't know what you think, Joey.
First question. What team do you think is better in a vacuum, the Broncos or the Jaguars?
In a vacuum, the Broncos or the Jaguars?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I might go Jaguars. I'm not going to lie. It's a shame that the Jaguars and the Bills can't both be in this next round, but that's just how the cookie crumbled.
Hmm. Well, there goes my whole subplot. I was going to say, if you think the Broncos, well, the Bills were almost beaten by this Jaguars team, which you would think is worse. And then, again, going into Jacksonville is not the same thing as going into Denver,
No, it's
especially
not.
in January. It's January, folks. It's cold. Having a road playoff game in Florida is like a walk in the beach. You kidding me? Like you're taking a
No, I
vacation.
I see your point. I will say I do think that this is going to be a much bigger test for Buffalo. You're going into
Hmm.
Mile High. You're playing against one of the top defenses in the
Yep.
NFL, a top team in the NFL. I just think at the end of the day, it comes down to experience. I think Josh Allen is going to not necessarily erupt, but I think that he's
Hmm.
going to do a lot more than people might expect against this defense. And I think the same goes for Bo Nix. I do. I think the Bills defense has struggled this year, but at the end of the day, for
Hmm.
me, it comes down to which offense do I trust more? Similar to what
Yep.
I'm going to say in the Patriots Texans game when we talk about that
Hmm.
next, but I just trust the Bills offense more. Now, if they show up like they did against the Eagles a couple weeks ago or against teams that they've just kind of laid an egg against, then yeah, I think the
Hmm.
Broncos have this, but I think if the Bills play their best football, we're going to see Buffalo in the AFC Championship.
I won't, I'll stay brief on this one because, AFC was you. You were pretty spot on with your picks last week.
Three
You
for
have a
three,
you have your
baby. Three
you
for
have your
three.
thumb on the pulse of the AFC. So I will leave
Mm.
this to you. But what I will say is that Sean Payton has been here before. He's been there and he's done that. Sean Payton has seen it all. If you think that Josh Allen is anything new, Sean Payton has seen Josh Allen's type before. I mean, hell, he
Yeah.
was in the same division as Cam Newton for multiple seasons, right? So Sean Payton has seen the mold of quarterback that Josh Allen is, and so it's not like Josh Allen is something we've never seen before. So Sean Payton, I believe, because I believe he's a good coach, will have his defense ready. They will have a
Mm.
scheme ready for Josh Allen. And I think that we're talking about experience. Bo Nix has experience in the playoffs. It's not a lot, but he has the experience,
Am
which
I hearing us going up against each other right now? You
call it a
picking
rivalry
Broncos?
podcast for a reason. Can't
Let's
call it a
go,
rivalry. Hey,
baby.
man. It's called a rivalry podcast for a reason. And God knows the Jets aren't pulling their slack, so I got to do it myself. Go Broncos.
Okay.
I just hate the Bills. I can never vote for the Bills. It's just eh. So what do you think about them Patriots? How much they losing by this week?
man, get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. If you guys follow me on TikTok at Dos Stos, a
I
month
would
or
not
so
recommend it.
ago, a month or so ago, I had a video where I said I've got the Patriots and Bills in the AFC Championship, and I'm sticking to it, man. Give me the Patriots over them Texans. Against the best defense in the NFL, I will say I think the Texans have the best defense in the NFL, but I think that this is going to be similar to the game that we just talked about because look at what the Patriots did against the Chargers, man. 3 points. You flew across the country for a field goal. Chargers. Chargers, you flew. The only touchdown the Chargers had was that Boston Logan International Airport. When the pilot said, "Oh,
Yeah.
we landed." I saw that
Oh,
meme.
that's
That was
dirty.
funny.
That's
That was
dirty.
funny.
That's
But I
dirty.
don't know. I think people are sleeping on this Patriots defense, and I think that's why the Pats are going to win because would I take the Texans defense over the Patriots? Yes. I'm not that biased. I'm not going to sit here and say the Texans don't have the best defense in football. They do. But when
Whoa,
you
why'd you
look
just
at
say the Texans don't have the best defense in football?
no, they do. They
What are you?
do.
I'm
They
kidding. I'm messing
do.
with you.
They
I'm
do.
not going to sit here and say they don't. Well, why did you say it, Stos?
I just I,
Hypocrite.
here's the thing, man, is I think it comes down to the offenses again. Like
Hmm.
I
I agree.
trust Drake May and what the Patriots have done on offense more than I trust CJ Stroud and what the Texans have shown. Because there's been games where the Texans offense seems like they're non-existent.
Yep.
Um and although the Patriots didn't look the best, I don't think against the Chargers, they really didn't. Drake May showed that he still has some inexperience that he needs to figure out with
Yeah.
those fumbles. Um,
First ever playoff game.
yeah, I think them struggling in that game and still winning by basically two touchdowns shows you how good the Patriots really are. And I think if they
Mhm.
play their A game against the Texans, I think it'll be the Patriots. I don't know. I don't know how you feel on this.
Well, we call it the Rivalry Podcast for a reason, and
Oh,
I
Oh,
feel like I
great.
am.
brother, this guy
Where have I heard that?
Great.
stinks.
Where have I heard that before? So listen, I think that yes, the Chargers were outmanned, outclassed, injuries be it what they will.
Mhm.
Patriots took over that game, right? And power to them, the better team won. And that's not hyperbolic to say. Better team won. Now, I have not seen a defense fly around like the Texans did in Pittsburgh ever. Like that was ridiculous. The way they showed up and put their stamp on that game, forced Mike Tomlin into retirement, probably forced A-Rod into retirement too, if we're being real. But I think that this Texans defense is legit. And I think this
Yeah,
Texans
they
defense
are.
is leagues above the Chargers defense. So my
Okay.
only point for concern and the reason why I'm picking Patriots side, the reason why I'm picking the Texans.
I just got a little hope up. Look what he did to
I'm
me
gonna
right
say,
there. Look what he did to
uh,
me.
you blushing over there?
I
Oh,
was,
the,
and then bro tore my heart
the
out.
reason why. So the long and short of the reason why I think the Texans actually have a chance is that their defense is leaps and bounds better than the Chargers. That same Chargers defense that was able to hold the Patriots back for a majority of the entirety of the first half and a little bit of the
Mhm.
third quarter. The Patriots start slow. We know that. We've talked about that on this podcast. But I think that Houston has the offensive capability to capitalize on those New England mistakes. If the page, I could see this game starting the exact same way it did last week. It's a low-scoring game, a defensive fist fight. I think that if the Texans want to win, they have to capitalize on those punts, turnovers. Just capitalize. You need to get points. You have to get touchdowns, but you
Yeah.
can live with threes early. And I think that eventually we've seen that this mode of the Patriots from this season and this playoffs, they will wake up. It's not a if, it's a when. And so you need to put yourself far enough away in the early game to where when the Patriots wake up, they're just playing chase. They're playing
Yeah.
catch up ball. And I
Hmm.
think that's the big difference for me. I think the Texans can do it, but that has yet to be seen.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think the Texans defense has been reliable all year. I think that they're going to try to get to Drake May early. They're going to try to get the Patriots off their game. And if they can do that and sustain that, I think for the first half and are up like 10 to 14, I think that's going to be hard for the Patriots to come back from a lead
I don't
that
think
big.
that's enough, to be honest with you.
You think if the Texans are up like 14 at halftime, the Patriots
Oh, I
still
thought
have
you
a good
said
shot?
10-2, like
Oh, no,
physically.
no. My bad.
Texans
Yes, like
14,
10 to
Patriots
10.
10.
Yeah, like 10 to 14 points. I think if the
They need to
Texans
be up
have
two
that
scores.
lead,
They need to be
yeah.
up two scores. That's what it is. If the Patriots end halftime only down one score, or maybe like if it's seven, if it's six, if it's three, even 10 feels like it might
Yeah.
not be enough.
Yeah.
I need at least 14 from Houston to be confident that the New England wave dies.
So
But
Joey has the Houston Texans going into Mile High for the AFC Championship, and I'm gonna have the Buffalo Bills going into Foxborough for the AFC Championship. So now is a perfect time for
yeah,
us to switch over to your side of the bracket, what you were talking about last week, the
yeah.
NFC. And let's start it off with this. The
I don't know ball
Rams.
apparently.
I mean, dude, I will say I think the NFC was a lot harder to predict that week. I was saying that
Yeah,
the whole
it
time.
was a
I
lot of fun
think
though.
it was a lot of fun. And
But
look,
as
even
I rudely interrupted
yeah.
you, continue.
No, yeah, just the Rams. I mean, the Rams were your lock last week. They did end up still winning, but I mean, man, the Panthers showed out there. It was looking scary. Yeah, it was by the skin of their teeth right there. Yeah. I don't know. So, how are we feeling about this Rams Bears matchup?
Listen, I am all on the Bears train. It hurt my heart last week
Okay.
to pick against the Bears. And to be honest with you, I'm happy they came back and won in the style that they did. I think the Bears are easily my Super Bowl pick. And
Wow.
that's a hot take alert. Uh-oh. I think the Bears are my Super Bowl pick coming out of the
To win it
NFC.
or to oh, okay. Okay.
If they make it, they have a shot.
Okay, yeah, they do.
But specifically to make it out of the NFC, I think the Bears.
Chicago.
Hey, if you don't know, now you know. It's Chicago! Yeah!
Sorry, I had
Yeah,
to get
Bears. I think the Bears have a chance if they make to make it out of the NFC, and it starts this week. I was more impressed with the Bears crawling back from the desolate hope where they were over the
Yeah.
Packers than I was with the Rams squeaking by against the Panthers. Now, listen, Panthers played their hearts out. I didn't give them enough credit. We didn't give them enough credit. And I think that sports media as a whole has been far too negative lately. You know, coming from a Jets fan who receives the brunt force of it 95% of the time. But I think sports media, I think being arrogant, being rude, being dismissive of is what clicks and what sells. And, you know, I don't think that that's what we want to do here. So we want to be, you know, instead of the phrase I keep going back to is it's easy, it's lazy journalism and it's lazy reporting to tell me, hey, Joey, the Jets suck. I could tell you that, right? And I don't get paid millions of dollars by ESPN to be a mouthpiece. I could tell you that. What I want to hear from you experts is I can tell you they suck. How do we get it right? How
Yeah.
do we make it better? That's the kind of insight and journalism, you know, because we're journalism majors. That's the kind of insight we want to bring to this podcast. So that was very rude of me and very dismissive of me to write off the Panthers that way. And they showed up. They proved why. You can't, you know, all you have to do is get into the dance. They say with the NBA, they say with the MLB.
Yeah.
All you have to do is get a punch a ticket to the show, and who knows what happens. They did that, and they put on a damn good fight. And now the Panthers are going to be one of those teams that's talked about in the offseason to where they might be a piece or two away. But that's long-winded on a team that's not here. I think that the Rams are still roster-wise, it's hard to bet against Matt Stafford, but I think that I was more worried with what the Rams showed me than the fight that I saw with the Bears. I
Yeah.
think that to end my spiel here, I think that the pan, you know, I hope that this past week was just the Rams overlooking an opponent that they thought they had no chance of losing to
Hmm.
and being tripped up. I hope that that's all that was and that the actual Rams come to play. But I think that the Bears, I think both teams see the pressure, the adversity they felt. The Rams are like, "Oh wow, I can't believe we got out of that
They
alive.
were.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go to next week." And the Bears are like, "Hey, we did that. Why stop here? We're on to the next one." And I
Yeah.
think that that confidence and that momentum is going to roll because the Rams have to go to Chicago.
I know. So for me, let me put it this way. There is a urge inside of me, something that is itching inside of me right now to take the Bears. There
The
really
depth of
is.
your soul is
Like
calling to
like
pick the
some
Bears.
yes, because of the fact that it's in Chicago, because of how just gritty this team has been.
Hmm.
I trust the running backs in Mongai and Swift. I like Caleb Williams a lot. I think Ben Johnson is a masterful head
I think
coach.
Caleb Williams took that step too.
He
I think he
did.
took that
And
step.
I'm gonna be real though, for the sake of the rivalry podcast, I'll stick with the Rams because I've had them as a Super Bowl favorite for like 2+ months
Cannot
now. I feel like it
can't
would
knock
be
it.
I think it'd be a cop out of me to the way I've talked about this Rams
Yeah.
team for the last few months. I think for me to just last second be like, oh, I've got Chicago. Like, I'm going to go with the Rams. I think they're the better team on paper. They're the better team when they play their best
Mhm.
football. Like, I don't think there's a team in the NFL that beats the Rams on the Rams' best day. Does that
Hey
make
man,
sense? Like,
I completely agree. I
I
see it, which
just,
is why I love that all these games we've talked about so far, and
I
especially this
know.
last one coming up, I think that they're all, well, maybe
I
not really
know.
the first,
I
but
know.
I think
Yeah.
that all these matchups are really close, and it's going to be a great slate of games regardless. But do
I
you want
will
to tee
say
up this
this
last
about
matchup?
I'm about to tee it up. The last thing I want to say about the Rams, though, before we go on to Seattle and San Francisco, is this: the
Hmm.
Rams, if the Rams do not win the Super Bowl, they beat themselves. I think that's how it will happen. I don't know if it's going to
Ooh,
be against the Bears.
bold
I
take
just think
alert.
I just
Hey,
think
I love it.
I do. I think Stafford, like if the Rams lose in the playoffs, it's going to be a complete implosion on offense. Like
I love it. Come
it's
on.
going to be bad, and McVay's going to be upset, and you're going to see it on the sideline. You're going to see the frustration. So
I
I'm gonna
love
go
it.
with Rams, but I can see the Bears winning. Our last matchup is San Francisco and the Eagles. Kind of want to wrap this one up here, but this is a great matchup. I mean, I know
Well,
you
actually,
had.
San Francisco already played the Eagles. You mean the
Oh, did I
Seahawks?
say the Eagles? Seahawks, excuse me. Seahawks, yeah. I think the Eagles game, that's why I was trying to tee up for
Yeah,
you.
no, I
I,
get you. I get it, dude.
I think the Eagles showed why they struggled all year. And I'm not saying that's why the Niners won, but I also think the Niners played a really good game of football. You picked this game, so you talk about this a little bit.
So, my rationale was I had, transparency. I had the Eagles beating the Niners because I looked at the X's and O's, and on paper, I thought, hey, the Eagles' run game is going to get right against a soft defense with Saleh as the coordinator. I've watched hours and years of Saleh's defenses, being the former Jets head coach. I saw the matchup on paper, and I highlighted this is going to be the reason that things could change for the Eagles. And it did. Saquon Barkley had a great game, and the talent level up front was noticeable. Where it went wrong, and the age-old saying is that it's a damn shame you don't play the game on paper because
Yeah.
nobody could predict the fact that the Eagles offensive coordinator, who has since been relieved of his duties,
Yeah,
only has
which
three
I
plays on his
know.
play sheet, and
I think there
it's
might be a
slant.
parade inside of Philly.
It's a parade inside my city, yeah!
I've seen so
Yeah,
many videos of Philly fans saying they wanted him
it,
fired. My goodness.
and it's crazy because like something like we've heard rumblings of the Eagles offense has been in disarray all season, and this is just where maybe this is where it culminates at the end of the line. But I think that talking about the Eagles anymore and pinning the loss on them is a disservice to the team that showed up and showed out with the
I a
Niners.
thousand percent agree. They played
Specifically
amazing.
how undermanned and understaffed they are, right?
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I do think this is the week that the Niners magic runs out because
Yeah.
the Seahawks and Niners have played as recently as week 18. So for the Seahawks, this is them playing the Niners on back-to-back weeks. But for the Niners, they let the Seahawks come into San Francisco in a win and in situation. Like this is playoff level stuff we're talking
For
about.
the one seed.
Winner was the one seed in the NFC. Loser was playing on wild card weekend. And the Seahawks came into the San Francisco, beat the brakes off the Niners. Kenny Walker and Zach Charbonnet ran all over that solid defense, which is where my part of my Saquon Barkley tidbit came from, was because I literally saw it the week prior. Right.
Yeah.
And what scares me about this Seahawks team, yes, I saw the report. Sam Darnold's on the injury report with an oblique. He's going to play. He'll be fine. If they don't play, things get interesting, but I really don't think so because Sam Darnold wasn't great in that game. And to be honest with you, Sam Darnold is in a perfect position to just don't lose us the game, Sam. I love Sam. And last year, he had a bad playoff, and that's what everyone's going to talk about. Like, oh, Sam Darnold was hitting above his weight last year, and when it
Yeah.
mattered in the playoffs, he crumbled. I think that Sam Darnold's best teams are teams where he can establish the run, and then he is talented enough to take that next step and make all the throws on the field. Look what he did with JSN. He unlocked JSN more than he did
Yeah.
with Jettis,
Best
which is
receiver
crazy
in
to
the
think.
league, him and Puka,
Yeah,
the two best.
yeah. It's crazy to think about, but I think that this run game is going to dominate, and
Mm.
the Niners, as much as I tip my cap off to them for the phenomenal job they've done undermanned, like You got to give Saleh and his staff credit for coaching that defense up. But I think this is where I think this is where the wheels
Yeah.
finally fall off for
I think
me. I think the Seahawks.
yeah.
I don't think the Seahawks struggle very much because now
Mhm.
this is in Seattle, and I think that Sam Darnold and the Vikings and the Seahawks run game runs all over the Niners, and it's an
Yeah.
end to a disappointing season, but one that, as a Niners fan, you can't really be too upset about because of the cards you were dealt. Making it this far is a lot further than most teams would make it. So
I will say this. This is gonna be our first and only matchup that me and Joey are gonna agree on. I'm gonna
the
go
rivalry
see
podcast, more like the best friend podcast. Am I right, guys?
no, but I think I gotta go Seattle. I think I think gosh, bro, you always get my like thought process just it's like mush in
More
my
like the
head right
certified
now.
ball knowers podcast. Am I right, best friend?
Oh yeah, dog. Oh yeah. Anyways, god damn it.
Jets in
The
7, bro. Come on.
Seahawks, I think the Seahawks are the better team here. Their defense has been amazing. I think we talked about this yesterday or something, Joey, where we were just saying like
Hmm.
that thing about the Vikings team is that Sam Darnold had to play his best football all the time in
Yeah.
order for them to win. I don't
Hmm.
think that's the case with the Seattle defense. I think that they can win games still when Sam Darnold doesn't play his best.
Yeah.
And if you're a 49ers fan watching this, I do want to say it because this is going to be some hope for you guys if you even care what I'm going to say. But
I care.
hey, I appreciate you.
I got you, best friend.
I just think the fact that the 49ers are doing this without Ayuk. I know Ayuk hasn't played all year, but it's like that was your best receiver. You're doing all this on the back of Christian McCaffrey, on the back of Brock Purdy, no George Kittle moving forward. I think if they get by the Seahawks, this could be the most dangerous San Francisco team we've seen in years. Like even the teams that went
Oh,
to the Super Bowl. I know that's a
oh,
hot
hot take.
take,
I love it.
but
I
I'm
love
just
it. Come
saying
on.
like
Keep them coming.
they have
Keep them
nothing
coming.
to lose. This 49ers team has no pressure. They're expected to
Yeah.
lose every game moving forward. If anything, that could be a good thing for the 49ers.
Oh,
So I'm going to go with the Seahawks, but I think if the 49ers win this game, man, they are dangerous. They're super dangerous. Um,
you see
so
that right there, everybody? That's what I'm talking about. Positive journalism, positive insights,
hey,
and that's what we wanted. That's what we're going to start spreading here.
you're
That's what we like. I
you're
love
gonna
it. I
get
love
some
it.
good
Love it.
takes here
I
on the
love it.
Rivalry Podcast, and you guys better tune in next week when we go over these games and we pick our Super Bowl matchups. I'm super excited, man. This was
I can't wait to
Stos.
spoil my pick. It's going to be the Jets all the way, baby.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
We're doing it. We're doing it, baby.
I'm Stos. This was Joey. I hope you guys enjoyed the Rivalry Podcast, and I'm excited to talk some more football next week. Peace.
Okay,
Get in there, boy.